the king of the monsters vs. the king of Atlantis. Who will win? We've seen Godzilla fight plenty of kaijus in his time, but what about when he fights an entire army of them? Well, that's exactly what happens in today's video. That's right, in today's video, we're gonna see Aquaman summon an entire kaiju army to battle Godzilla. Let's get started. Are you a fan of the legendary DC Comics superhero Arthur Curry? The half-human, half-Atlantean superhero has had quite a few live-action portrayals over the years, from the 1950s portrayal by actor Cliff Robertson to the more recent one by Jason Momoa in the DCEU. Aquaman is generally portrayed as a hero who can control all sea life and has super strength. He's also known for his ability to communicate with marine life and control them. But what if Aquaman had even more power at his disposal? What if he could not only control sea life, but also summon other powerful beings like Godzilla? Well, that is exactly what happened in Justice League International Volume 2 number 26. This storyline was called Tower of Babel, and this comic took place in an alternate universe where Aquaman was considered a tyrant and ruler of the surface world. Now, before I get into the details of how Aquaman summoned an army of kaijus to take on Godzilla, let's talk about the history of the character a bit. Aquaman was created by Paul Norris and Mort Weisinger, and first appeared in More Fun Comics number 73 in November of 1941. Since then, he's become one of the most recognizable and beloved superheroes of all time. He's been featured in countless comic book storylines, animated TV shows, movies, and video games. In the comics, Aquaman is known for his unwavering commitment to protecting the oceans and its inhabitants from harm. He's also known for his wisdom and level-headedness, even in the toughest of situations. However, there have also been times where Aquaman has been portrayed as a more ruthless and calculating character. In the storyline Tower of Babel, Aquaman is shown to be a cunning leader who is willing to do whatever it takes to protect his people. He's not afraid to use force or violence to get what he wants, and he's even willing to sacrifice his own humanity in order to do so. In this storyline, Aquaman teams up with the villain Black Manta to take on Batman and Superman, and while he ultimately does come out victorious, he also loses a part of himself in the process. Now let's get back to the main topic of the video. In the comic book storyline Tower of Babel, Aquaman summons an army of kaijus to help him in his battle against Batman and Superman. But how exactly does he manage to do this? Well, it all starts with a mysterious artifact known as the Trident of Neptune. The Trident is said to be one of the most powerful weapons in the DC universe, and it grants its user incredible powers over the seas. When Aquaman uses the Trident to its full potential, he is able to summon an army of giant sea monsters to help him in his fight. These creatures are similar to kaijus in the sense that they are huge, powerful, and have a destructive nature. They wreak havoc on the city, causing widespread damage and destruction. This is sure to impress any kaiju fan, as the sight of these massive creatures rampaging through the city is truly awe. Godzilla is a towering force of nature that has been depicted as being virtually unstoppable. Its immense size, strength, and durability make it a formidable opponent that can easily overpower its enemies. Even when faced with seemingly insurmountable odds, Godzilla remains a persistent and relentless force that continues to fight on. So, just how does Aquaman manage to defeat such a powerful kaiju? Well, it all comes down to his mastery over the seas. Through his control over water, Aquaman is able to manipulate Godzilla's environment and use it to his advantage. He creates whirlpools and tsunamis that toss Godzilla around like a rag doll. And when Godzilla gets a little too close to shore, Aquaman unleashes his deadliest weapon, the underwater realm itself. By manipulating the pressure and temperature of the water, Aquaman is able to create an underwater vortex that sucks Godzilla down into the depths. Once there, Godzilla is at the mercy of Aquaman and the other sea creatures that he controls. With their combined strength, they are able to hold Godzilla down and prevent it from causing any further destruction. It's a truly epic battle between two titans of different domains, each showcasing their unique abilities and strengths. Now let's get back to the main topic of the video. One of the most exciting things about this storyline is the way in which Aquaman summons his army of kaijus. He doesn't simply snap his fingers and they appear. No, he has to perform a ritual that involves the use of the Trident of Neptune and a special phrase spoken in Atlantean. This adds a layer of mystery and intrigue to the story, as we are left wondering what exactly is the incantation that Aquaman is using to call forth these creatures. Is there a price to be paid for summoning such powerful beings? and how much control does Aquaman really have over them once they arrive? The summoning of the Kaiju is a highly anticipated moment in the storyline, and when it finally happens, it is truly spectacular. We are introduced to a variety of creatures, each more impressive and terrifying than the last. Some are reminiscent of classic kaijus like Godzilla, while others are completely unique and original creations. There is a sense of awe and wonder as we witness these creatures emerge from the depths of the ocean and wreak havoc on the city. It feels like we are watching the birth of a new mythos, one that blends the worlds of DC Comics superheroes with the thrilling spectacle of kaiju films. As the story progresses, we learn more about the origins of these kaiju and their connection to Aquaman. Some are ancient creatures that have been awakened from their slumber, while others were created by Aquaman himself as a last resort to defend his people. We also learn about the different types of kaiju that exist and their unique abilities and characteristics. There are flying kaiju that soar through the skies, amphibious kaiju that can navigate both land and water, and even kaiju that can control the very elements themselves. The diversity and imagination on display is truly impressive, and it is clear that a lot of thought and care has gone into creating these creatures. However, as powerful as these kaiju are, they are not without their weaknesses. Aquaman soon discovers that they are all connected to him in some way, and if he were to lose control of himself, they would turn on him and his people as well. This adds a sense of urgency and danger to the story as we realize that Aquaman is walking a dangerous tightrope and one wrong move could spell disaster for everyone. As the story reaches its climax, we see Aquaman come into conflict with those who seek to exploit the kaiju for their own nefarious purposes. There are battles both above and below the surface of the water as Aquaman and his allies try to protect the innocent and preserve the balance of nature. The action is fast-paced and exciting, keeping us on the edge of our seats as we cheer on our heroes and fear for their safety. Overall, the storyline is a thrilling adventure that combines the best elements of DC Comics superhero stories with the over-the-top spectacle of kaiju films. It is a celebration of the power and majesty of the natural world, as well as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of balance and responsibility. If you're a fan of Aquaman, Godzilla, or just a good old-fashioned superhero adventure, then this storyline is definitely worth checking out. You will be on the edge of your seat the entire time, and you might just learn a thing or two about the importance of protecting our planet along the way. So what do you think? Would Aquaman stand a chance against Godzilla? And how do you feel about Aquaman's decision to use the Trident of Neptune to summon an army of kaiju to fight for him? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, so you never miss another exciting episode. See you next time.